The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meat, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
When was the last time you had really good Texas-style barbecue? Eric's Family Barbecue, the way it's supposed to taste. Always delicious, never rushed, and prepared to perfection. Eric's Family Barbecue uses only 100% fresh meat, slowly smoked over mesquite wood until it's juicy and delicious. We all know their brisket is the best, but have you tried their pulled pork ribs, or rib tips? Amazing, and their sides are all house-made. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meat, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip. You won't be sorry. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more information.
It's something. Check out Holmberg's Morning Sickness Podcast at 98kupd.com.
Brady and I discussing whether or not we'd actually compete in the Squid. I'm in. You?
It'd be
Not
a
so
tough
much?
one. It'd be a tough one. Yeah.
I would do it. I think it'd be great.
Let alone being on the other side, betting on it.
Oh, betting on it's a guarantee.
You know, like those guys. Yeah.
I'd FanDuel the tar
I
out
can
of that.
see how it would appeal to
Oh,
guys
phenomenal.
like that. We say guys, women would be in on it too.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to get, you don't have to worry about sexism with that. I love that. And, that show's another one that's pretty fun. It is time now for Brady to tell you what he would do, because it's the more moral thing to do is to not be part of the Squid Games, but that's where we're different. Brady says no. I'm like, no, I would sell out a stranger for 40 billion won.
I just couldn't. I'm talking about actually participating in the game. I can't talk about them because people are watching the series.
The games are
There's
incredible.
one of them that it just.
They are, and I said that after I saw the first red light, green light. I'm like, I want to do that with paintballs, but it wouldn't be as accurate.
No.
Because they're laser sharp
Yep.
But there's people doing the paintball Squid Games. Red light, green light with paintball. Oh. I have, for those of you who have seen it, you'll laugh at this. Those of you who don't, you don't know what I'm talking about. Red light, green light, there's this gigantic child robot. And it's the old game where, you hide your eyes and you say red light, green light. When you say green light, everybody can run towards the finish line. And when the person who's in charge turns and says red light, everybody has to stop. And if you fall over or you keep moving, you're out. So they eliminate you by movement. In the movie, they just shoot you and kill you. It's awesome. So, and there's 400 people that start
laser
red light, green light.
headshots for the most part. There's plenty of bodies.
So I want J. Todd Himes, the great artist that I've hired to do my Barry Wood paintings, to make the red light, green, all those Korean Squid Game players. And Barry Wood is the robot.
Is the leader of
So it would be Barry Wood's giant penis sitting there up against that tree, but his head's turned all the way around, like Exorcist style. It's just hiding his head. So it would just be the body. Oh, it'd be great. I've got it all mapped out in my head. He's working on it for me. He's got a couple good ideas.
You
too.
say you'd participate in the games.
Oh, yeah.
You'd also be on the other side gambling.
Oh, yeah.
What about being one of the minions?
What do you mean?
You're one of the guys in the mask, and you have to.
I'd be part of it too. The thing about Squid Game that got me
competitors.
is how much hiring went into that program.
Know.
Like there's so many. Like they had to have an excavation team, they had a construction crew, they had to get permits, they had to get electricity that has to be done through. You watch this thing, you're like the undertaking to build the facility that housed the Squid Games themselves couldn't have flown under the radar.
They got Dr. Evil's Island.
I mean, it was amazing. But you got one construction guy back in Seoul. I don't know what it was, but I built this thing on an island a little bit ago. It's like the old joke that the Death Star somebody built it. There's like a contractor that was involved. Anyway, it's a great show if you're interested. People are a little bit bent out of shape about the ending because it gets a little easy, but it's not an ending. It's the end of this season. There's more. We'll see if it's as good. I think they should have a champions round.
Bring him back like in Survivor.
Like Jeopardy, like Champions Week. Oh, my God, what a show. Anyway.
I watched the Wheel, Celebrity Wheel yesterday. Yeah, Andy Richter versus Vanilla Ice and Caroline.
Who's Caroline?
From Caroline in the City, or you'd recognize her if you
Caroline
saw her.
Ray? Is she blonde, bigger lady?
Yeah, blonde,
she's like
bigger.
Yeah,
that's her.
Writer. Well, that had to be fun for the family. I like Wheel of Fortune because if you miss it, the charity loses out.
I know. Vanilla had the whole phrase in front of him, but
He couldn't figure it out. If he doesn't get it, his charity loses. And then at the end, you spin the wheel and you get like the thing. And then if you don't solve the final puzzle, your charity gets nothing. So Pat Sajak is just a dick. It's the same as Squid Games.
They fixed a little bit.
They
no
still
matter
hand
what,
them cash, right?
Yeah,
because
each round, no matter what, you get $10,000,
right? And they double all your
if
money,
you win.
Right? And they do better because all three people who played, their charity gets money. Nobody gets blanked. It's good stuff. What would Brady do? Brought to you by your friends at M&P Guns, right there at 12th Street and Indian School. Get all your gun needs met, your ammo, your stuff, your accoutrement, right there at 12th Street and Indian School with our friends at M&P Guns. While the prices are soaring, these guys are taking a full advantage of the fact that they stocked up for it, so they don't have to gouge you. Go get a great price, especially on that 9mm. M&P Guns, 12th Street and Indian School. Brady, here we go.
Let's do it.
My wife is a very sexy woman, Brady. She's 6 feet tall, 135 pounds. My goodness. She can even be a butterface, Brady. That's solid. She's flat out stunning. Oh, way out of my league. Recently, she started saying she felt like her face was not good anymore. She didn't like how she's aging, and it got her very depressed. Maybe the last year and a half, 18 months, she's been pretty down. So she's gotten some facial stuff done. A couple shots here, a couple little moves there. I wasn't a big fan. Kind of froze her a little, but she seemed happier. She's got great fake cans. Her body got a little help with a tummy tuck a few years ago. But that face, that's the moneymaker. Something I don't want her messing with. Recently, she told me she's getting a full face work thing done. I don't know what it is. She said the name of it. It's not like a pullback, but she's doing some work. How do I talk her out of this? I don't want to risk having a plastic-headed wife. She's got the money. It's not my call. What if it sucks? What would Brady do? Randy,
let me just... I'm so sorry. You're not getting that one back.
Oh, you think it's over? She's going right in?
Once they go that route,
it stays
which is the norm.
It is now? Yeah, I think that's true.
So there's, I guess, the silver lining on it. It's a little more common, but you're looking at the next person that's going to be turning heads at when you're at the Biltmore Fashion Park 20 years from now. I'm like, holy
what the hell happened to her? Her face and her hands are different people.
The 70-year-old dressed as the 22-year-old.
Worst thing in the world. Also,
great people watching, vote. We
7-year-old
appreciate it.
From the front, like her face is 70, and then you see her from behind, and she looks like she's in shape and stuff. She's got like butt implants. I saw this at the Biltmore. It was weird. A 7-year-old lady with butt implants.
I got to get back.
Why is she still trying to attract people with that ass? It can barely hold. It can't hold. I can barely hold food in anymore.
And it just whittles down. It almost golf tee on that
goes
side
into that
of it
weird
there's
little
no meat on the legs.
It looks like old lady asses look like the middle's melting out like a candle with a hole in the bottom of it.
Yeah,
like it's drooped over. She fixed it.
The temperature,
because she's still giving up that door, but she's also drinking Activia because stuff's coming out of that she doesn't expect.
And I don't make your ass attractive anymore. I don't know. I don't know how active they are.
Well, there's Activia, so there's activity.
That's a mess.
Stick. Look, that's okay, but I think you're right. I think once she starts doing face stuff, then she's going to go, oh, my neck is now, I've got a little waddle. That goes. It's dominoes. Once they go, they stay going down that.
And once they see it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hard. I guess it's like it's dealing with a lot of stuff, whether a person going through depression, whatever, you don't understand it.
It makes them feel better, right.
But the way... Like you say, your perception, how you person and how they look at themselves in the mirror.
Yeah, nobody looks at themselves in the mirror with any normalcy and says, "I look great today. I look perfect." And there are pretty people who look in the mirror and go, "This is easy," but they see their flaws way before we do because they're the only ones that see it every day.
And it's so minute sometimes.
Oh yeah, but you see your flaws in a picture or in a mirror that nobody else sees. You know,
I've accepted them years ago.
Yeah.
And you have to get to that point like...
You can't help, Brady, but see your flaws because you're the only one in the picture. You're blocking everybody else out.
Right.
With me, it's pretty obvious. I want to have a plastic surgery that makes people look at me funny.
I know. I don't know why you want to do this.
If it wasn't for people who cared about me, this would have happened already. I just don't want to make them feel bad for being around me. But if I could go with joke face, I'm already doing it, and it's natural. If I could pull this sucker back like a snare drum and make it so blinking looked like I was trying to climb a mountain, hilarious.
It wouldn't be a joke. Well, you'd be, as long as you're comfortable, you're the only one that knows it or is in on it.
I would do it just to hear what people said to me. I would tell the doctor, it's like, I mean, pull this thing back so tight that if it looks like if I sneeze, I'm going to split like a baked potato.
Here's the other reason why you can't do it.
Why?
You'd have to go to Mexico. There's no one here in the States.
I've seen the girls of Scottsdale. There's plenty of doctors that'll pull too tight. Go to the Biltmore and tell me there's no doctor that'll go a little tighter.
That's true, but I think they're going overseas.
One more twist, sir. I'll go to Mexico for that. That's the only reason I go to Mexico, for joke face. I mean, carve my nose basically down to like the size of a Tic Tac. And just give me crazy eyes. Big lips. Just for the last half of whatever I got left. At
least say, here's what you're going for. Just like the guy that's like the Ken doll.
Yeah.
I wanted to look like
this. And I want people to go, oh my God, you look fantastic. You haven't aged as. Thank you so much for that. That's really nice.
You're not seeing Brad Pitt with this?
Looks like picture of Brad Pitt. I thought maybe. You can't see that you look younger. He looks so young. I do look young. I look like a picture of a baby in the womb.
Oh, man, you'd be on botch so fast.
That's the picture I would bring to the surgeon, is a picture of a baby in the womb, like an ultrasound.
Make it look
like my eyes haven't developed. They look little young. Dear Brady, how many people should I sleep with to officially have a good number as a man? I'm currently at 7. I was with one for 4 years. That kind of screwed things up. I'm 32 years old. Is it time to settle, or do I regret not hitting that 50 or 60? Timothy.
My thought is that's up to the individual. I mean,
quality, not quantity, I say.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a massive number of broads on you, because I got a friend named who had banged a lot of girls, but he went trolling an awful lot, like big things you would not be proud of. But he'd go, I've had over 250 women. I'm like, yeah, but I've seen most of them, and not good. Like, your standards are so low. It's disgusting. So if you get,
that's the problem when you get. I mean, that's the thing about it. When you get to that level where you're going for quantity,
quantity is gross.
You'll do exactly that.
Yeah. Quality. If you get 7 and they're quality, you've gone around the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got a black, a mulatto, an Asian, a Mexican, Canadian, somebody from Kansas, New Jersey. You've danced around the planet a little bit, and you're feeling all right with that? Whatever floats your boat.
The guy that says, look, it's all the same, that's not true.
You don't think so?
Well, that he's saying if you've had one, you've had them all.
Oh, no, that's not true at all.
Right.
Because,
chemistry, there's all sorts of different things.
But there's also hogs, and there's pretty.
Yes.
Yeah, there's totally different. There's some girls that look like
There's one, look. It's the same thing no matter what. So you got to lift up a 180-pound apron. I don't know. Here's some different looks.
Someone looks like a tire blew out. You don't need any of that. So I'd say quality over quantity. So your number's not important, but what you've done is. Like, are you satisfied with your 7?
I think what he's asking, too, is 7, is that not enough? No, that could be plenty.
Are you satisfied with your 7?
Yeah.
Right. If you're like, ooh, I've never had sex with a girl under 300
what is
pounds.
It that, and if you are questioning that, really look at why are you questioning that?
Yeah. There's some stuff on the menu you want to try. Go till you hit glass. Go eat that special lady. And stop, And if you're like, I've never had, I've never done it with a ham planet before. You got to do that too. I know. Finally, dear Brady, do I deter or encourage my relatively ugly, sorry, it's true, I'd never tell her to her face, daughter, to lower her standards for a man? She's always liked the male model, the star athlete, the high school quarterback. She's even sort of mean about guys who have been interested in her that she considers beneath her, and I don't know where she got it. She's fat and she's mean just like her mother. That lady's awful. My daughter, I fear, is taking right after her. Anyway, she's lonely. She talks about never having had a boyfriend. She's 23 and she's a snob, but she's not nice. How do I tell her this to pull her back to earth without telling her she's also not that quality? Wow. Wow.
I feel that's her own journey. I mean, obviously, it sounds like her mother's been more influential on that side of it.
Right, and
he's comparing it to the mom.
And mom's probably saying stuff about you never settle for a man because it didn't work out with you. So she sees you two, and she's like, go for the gusto.
I'd rather her be confident.
True. To her detriment, though. Confident but
there's
realistic.
There's the fine line, right. Just, I mean, the best way to do it is, try to advise her on that stuff. But the minute you take a hard stance on it, she's not going to listen anymore.
Struggle. Your ugly daughter is going to end up lonely for a while. But maybe she'll hit the jackpot.
Yep.
Maybe this dude with 7 on his belt, handsome, got a lot of money, and she's just the crooked lid for his pot he's looking for. Doubt it. She sounds awful.
It's a long shot.
Yeah, that daughter of yours sounds miserable.
She could parlay that into something.
I mean, her own father wrote a radio station that said she's fat and ugly. I mean,
karma's coming for both of them.
Yeah, nothing good comes from a dad saying, my fat, ugly daughter. And I'm like, boy, you're the one who's going to cut the edges off of that. I have no skin in the game. I'm going to see something worse than you. You still have the love in your heart for her.
Just because you're bent out of shape, her mom hit jackpot.
Right. Yeah, that could be. Maybe she moved on. Do you talk to her about this or just let her go?
I let it go.
Yeah, I do too. Well done. Let your fat, ugly daughter live her own miserable life.
She's got to find her own.
Get her another case of Lorna Doones and quiet her down. I love that. A dad emailing us saying, she's fat and she's ugly and I got no plans with this. What do I do? It's 9:36. There you go. That is what Brady did. Brought to you by our friends at M&P Guns. It's 98 KUPD. Well done.
Big Red Badass.
What? What did you just say?
Badass. 98 KUPD.
You've been listening to Holmberg's Morning Sick Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Eric'sFamilyBBQ.com.